So like, ooh.
Of course, it is yet another awesome episode of this here great show I would love to call the Situation Updates live chat series. For this edition, man, we are going backwards and forwards in time. It's that kind of thing. It's a space travel kind of space and time travel kind of thing, right? We're gonna be chatting with my brother Kev Jones, Alain. There was an Alain to your name at one point, right?
Yeah, that's my other last name.
Right. So we're gonna be chatting with the brother for for the next hour or so.
Sure.
Sort of dig into what's been happening. I haven't been hearing much from him, seen much of him for a little bit, and so on and so
I've been
forth.
hiding.
Right? You know the way we do things here, ladies and gentlemen. Before we even let him jump in to say howdy, I'm gonna jump out, give you a chance to hit up a few folks, let them know we're live. Yes, so that they could join in on the experience and so on and so forth. Right? And of course, pay some homage to our partners. Right? We can't do this thing without, Diamond Groceries and Kensip Solutions and John around the whole entourage. Right? So let's go do that. Come right back while you get your stuff sorted over there. Right? Come on, guys.
Diamond Grocery Inc., located at Kaliakwan Diamond, are your friendly neighborhood groceries for one-stop shopping. We carry a wide range of food items such as meats, toiletries, personal care, and even products for your vehicle. And there is so much more that is certain to make the most picky shopper happy. Our bakery supplies a variety of delicious and hot breads and pastries. We provide spacious parking at our 2 locations to ensure a pleasant shopping experience. Our staff is courteous, friendly, and ready to serve you. Come to Diamond Grocery Inc., Kaliakwan Diamond, for excellent shopping with ambience designed for your satisfaction.
Like we always say, man, if you have to do supermarket, make sure it's a Diamond Grocery experience, right? Let's do this again. Small people, small business, but great impact. John Ra Designs. They're basically responsible for much of the visuals that you see from the Situation Updates platform, in terms of graphics and them things. So, we send them some love. Blessings every time. And of course, hey, even the promo that you see, man, for each and every live chat series, for every episode, comes from these beautiful people over here. So, Kensip Solutions. Of course. We want to thank everybody who's joining us tonight, whether you're coming in from YouTube or on Facebook. Remember, we do not know that you're on with us unless you say something to us, all right? So don't be shy with your comments, with your shout outs, with your love, with your questions. We pop them up on screen as per usual. That being said, hey, Kev, what a go on, brother?
Well, go on, my brother. What's up?
I did hear Bridget and I itching to press this other button. Wait, go to nothing else.
Come on.
Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
So then, no Kev, yeah. Them only see the shine, them never see the struggle. Them never see the fight, them never see the hustle. Them never see the weight where they double my muscle. Them never did it when my mother lay down in a coffin. Them only know my songs, them never know my story. Them never understand it when me get my glory. Them ask me, Kev, how you get so strong? Been to hell and that's how me get my fire from. Have a dream like Martin, full of gun like Malcolm. Say we goals on target, we go for them one by one. Work hard for the profit, fill with daughters and son. And for the dogs them find out, say every ghetto youth is a champion. You must make it, must be. So we go hard for the wins and the iron balloon and all the thing. Man must get a house and all the hills so my family can chill. Go hard every day, every night, them for no man a king. And the youth full of skill. Have a dream like Martin, full of gun like Malcolm. See we goal on target, we go for them one by one. Work hard for the profit, fill with daughters and son. And for the dog them find out, say every ghetto youth is a champion. Have a dream like Martin,
I have a dream.
full of gun like Malcolm. Have a dream like Martin, full of gun like Malcolm. Have a dream like Martin, full of gun like Malcolm. Say we goals and targets, we go for the one by
Oh my God, look who it is. This sweeter ting right here, are you kidding me? My privilege and honor to be next to you. You're so talented.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look who it is.
Jesus. Yo.
Yo, what's up, my brother? Go on. How's life been treating you, bro?
Good. Right now, we up.
You know,
It's
the reason
beautiful.
I was actually just watching that video again, like really watching it again, and I'm like, okay, I see why it's been speaking to me, man. It's almost like a autobiography of sorts. See what I mean? The visual story.
Yeah.
You know, as it played out, man.
Yo, that's
Talk to me now.
that's edited by me, by the way. I just wanted to plug that. Like, I edited that video myself. Yeah. I'm very hands-on. I do not play.
Cool. So the man is not just musical; he's visual with it
It's
too.
not just
Potent.
I get hands-on.
Where did like Martin come from, my brother? What's the story behind that track?
I'm all about dreaming big, but I'm also all about doing things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a little backstory before I even did that song, I was in the hospital for like a period of time, and my friend told me to come out swinging, right? So that was one of the things I did immediately. I was like, I went back home and I started working on things, and I remember my bro was like, yo, the song by Rebel Six is called K Go Off, right? I was like, he told me like remix it. So, but he wanted me to go on that like that gangster vibe and stuff like that. And I was like, nah, I gotta like flip it up a little bit and do me. And that's when I came up with the whole like have a dream like Martin, because you know, we always dream big, but militant like Malcolm, you know, because we don't just dream and like talk about it, we do it too. So, you know, have a dream like Martin, militant like Malcolm, yeah. For my goals and targets, we go for them one by one. Work hard for the profit, and for the daughters and sons, yeah. And for the dog, them find out. Say ever get to you as a champion. JP must make it, must be, yeah.
Come on, no one. Yo, my brother. So let me just warn folks, right? This is going to be the most non-linear chat that we've ever had, right? Because we're gonna go someplace, we're gonna come back, and we're gonna go back to some other places, and we're gonna go over there, we're gonna come over here, right?
All over.
For the folks who don't know you, Kev, let's set that up. Let's talk origins. who are you related to in this little 2x4 place we call St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Which part you come from? You know, that whole kind of scene, you know. Let me set it up.
Well, it's crazy because my grandmother, my grandparents are from St. Vincent. My mom is from St. Vincent, right? But my mom left St. Vincent when she was like 4 years old and came to Trinidad. My father's side of the family is from Trinidad. So, like, my people spent most of their time in Trinidad. So it's crazy that I don't really know much family in St. Vincent. I probably got like a bunch more family than I know of in St. Vincent, but my people are originally from Top Gome, from Bel Air side. We lived in Bel Air for a long time too, so shout out Bel Air one time. Fountain, all that on them ends. So like I know that the people I'm related to are from that side, you know what I'm saying? Like Top Gome, Bel Air ends for sure. So like I think like the Williams and Jones obviously. Um who else? The Craigs. I think that's like most of the my relatives, my family in St. Vincent.
For some reason, I remember you living in Lomans, Windward, for a little bit.
Yeah, cause
What's up
me
with
and my
that?
mom were like movers, you know. I don't even know like I have no family that I know of on the countryside, but we just went. This is wild. We used to go all over the place. So I lived in Lomans for a while. I went to North Union Secondary School for a year. Um, but yeah, that was vibes. I met like a lot of dope people during that time. Like countryside is vibes. Always love the country, no matter where I go.
All right, cool. Um, I, I have my origins questions for you, but I see a Mr. Kaya Peters is jumping on here and asking for you to explain a little bit about how it all got started. I want to think he's referring to your musical career. You
Music,
want to go ahead
yeah,
and take that? Before you do that, I'm just explaining. We tend to give way to the audience questions, so
yeah.
that's what's happening here.
That's what's up. I like that. Well, it started in church, like literally in the building that I'm in right now. Like when I was a kid, my grandmother started a church, and like as soon as she knew that I could sing, she put me up. So I started singing from very young in church, and then that went on to be in conventions, and then other concerts. When I came to St. Vincent, I started doing gospel fest, and stuff like that. And then when I got to secondary school, well, I was already in secondary school and I was doing gospel fest and stuff, but then I started like being interested in like listening to dancehall and them other like genres and stuff, and like starting to freestyle in school. And I just always sang at school. Like it was the thing I did. Like for my entire life, I was the singer. Everybody knew me as the singer in school. So it just kept going until one day when I was in 4 or 5, Marlon Rudette came to my school. Matterfix, for those who don't
Mhm.
know. Yeah, so he came to my school, and I wasn't even in the music class. I was in 4 and 5 at the time, but like I used to always be in the music room. So they called me down there. They was like, well, Matterfix is coming and the music students are gonna have this session with him. So like pull through stuff like that. And one of the music teachers called me up at a point and like introduced me to him. And I remember talking to him a little bit. There's a clip of that actually in the opening scenes of the Like Martin video. Because it was on
Mhm.
IKTV. I think it was K45 at the time. So
Right.
that's when it started like professionally. From that moment, like meeting Marlon and stuff, then he connected me. Well, he told Dawson, who became my manager for like the next 5 years or so. After that, he connected me with Dawson, and from there I started doing shows with Creative, and then we released the music, and the rest is history basically.
Hmm. All right. We're not gonna jump down that creative rabbit hole just yet.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you to explain a bit for the folks who may not be familiar, what creative is.
Uh,
Uh, so let's see what we've covered so far. So you were you born in St. Vincent or in Trinidad?
no, I was born in Trinidad.
Okay,
I
Trini. All
moved
right,
to
but
St. Vincent when I was like 12 or 13.
so you're one of those Trincentians.
Yeah, I'm a Transcension.
This is all good. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Um,
All right. So hold on. I keep remembering. I'm forgetting that we're sharing screen sometimes. Okay. So
yeah.
you came over from Trinidad,
Mhm.
with moms, moved about for a little bit, did Gome Bel Air for a little
Yeah.
bit, came up to the countryside,
Mhm.
uh, finished your high school career, and actually started your music career professionally coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Um, uh, from then to actually making that brand that we all started to get to know and gravitate to. What was that journey like, man?
Mhm. Um, well, I remember before I even signed with Creative, when I was in Form 5, I was making music and I would like put songs out on Facebook, and that was the days of Five Star General and Bob Family and all them, like just a lot of us people like Pixel, Dimes, all them people were making music on Facebook back in the day. And I remember Captain John had an online station called Tickle Me Radio, I think it was, and all of us used to like send our songs to him to play and vibe. And I had a few different
Okay.
names coming up. Like they used to call me Trini in school because I'm from Trinidad. And so I started like as Trini, and then I went as TK, and it was like a bunch of different names. And I remember when I met Dawson, he was like, they had this thing called Underground. So I went to that, and he was like, "What do I introduce you as?" So I told him my name, and he was like, "Oh, what is your real name?" And I was like, Kevon. So he was like, okay. He went up and he was like, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Kev. And from that moment, I became Kev, the artist. Um, and I went with the name and the vibe for a while, but I also like, I didn't set out to be a soca artist. I just always wanted to be an artist. And I feel like because I could make so many different genres, I wouldn't want to be like boxed into being one thing. So that was always meant to be a part of the brand, like always changing, always evolving.
Hmm.
So now that I'm going as Kev Jones, right, it's just like more of an identifier. It's also to pay homage to my mom because that's her last name as well. So it's like carry on that legacy too. And also for on the business side of things, for searchability purposes, like you search for Kev on Google and you find Kevin Hart, Kevin Durant, all kind of Kevs. So um the name change to Kev Jones is also so I can be more easily found on, you know, streaming platforms, search engines, stuff like that. But with the change also comes like a change in the vibe of the music and what it sounds like, because I'm definitely at a different point in my life where I want to tell different stories and, you know, make different kinds of music than what's been happening before. So it's really been a journey of change and discovery, really, because I started so early that it was more influence than self discovery initially. So I just went
Ah.
with, okay, so like I could make the hell out of a song, whatever it is. So I was really making what was cool and what was the vibe where I was, which was like St. Vincent Caribbean vibes, you know, here in Trinidad, soca music. That's what moves. That's what makes the cash. That's what like gets you popping. So like when I just got signed, I wanted to rap honestly, and that's what we were kind of doing That's what we were doing when we were covering shows like opening for Mario. That was the first I think that was one of the first shows outside of gospel that I did in St. Vincent. And we rapped, me and Coco,
Mm.
and who else was with us? That night Key Currency performed as well, and we all rapped. So that's what I wanted to do initially. And then from a business standpoint, we were kind of like, okay, we gotta make some kind of money. And soca is the thing. And I wrote Me Alone, and it was like people was like, you're good at this. And I just kept doing it for a while, but then I got tired, so we're switching it up
You got
again.
tired of soca, or
Just
what
because
exactly
like
was it you got tired of?
because it wasn't really like core me, you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? It's like it's something I could do. Like I could probably make like a tough soca song right now, but it's not necessarily who I am. So having to be that person for the brand's sake and for the song's sake was kind of like a bit tiring. And I just was like, I kind of just want to make songs. I just want to make like I want to actually say how I'm feeling right now without making it a happy song.
Mm.
Like it ain't no sad soca songs. It ain't no like everything is I depressed but I drunk. Happy I drunk. Like, you know? Like my girl gone, my hands in the air. Like it's really no other emotion. Like everybody
Emotional
happy
depth.
go lucky. Like
Mm.
it's all happy music, and because it's festival music, you understand why it's happy. But how do you express yourself? Like some of us use music to actually express ourselves. So at a point, my life and soca music was not running on parallel lines. There was a point in time where like that was my lifestyle. So it was easy to just pull and be like, okay, this is what I did last weekend. Let me write it down. Now I'm in a much different place where I barely even leave my house, even before like lockdown and stuff like that. Like I don't party anymore like that. Like it's not how I live anymore. So to make music about that lifestyle without being in it feels off to me right now. So I'm just like making what I feel, basically.
You're foreshadowing another part of our conversation that I'd love to get to.
Hmm.
Um, and you mentioned basically being secluded even before it became the thing that has to happen to
Yeah,
survive this pandemic that
like
we're all suffering through.
when Skilly Bang said long before Corona me a social distance, I felt that because I was actually doing it. It
What
was crazy.
caused that though?
I just needed to get away in a sense. Like some things happened like back to back around 2016, and I didn't really get a chance to stop at all because like it was like I had to keep doing music, I had to keep being in the public, I had to keep like and then other things kind of popped off as well that made me like have to be more public and in more places. So after a while I was just like all over the place constantly, and I didn't really get to stop and deal with certain personal things. So eventually I just had to like completely stop.
All right. I want to get into a little bit more specifics, right?
Yeah.
When we come forward. Let me just go and do this right quick because we overdue a break. We sort this out. We come back and we talk a little bit about what are some of these things that happened in 2016 and so on. What were these things that piled up more or
Mhm.
less on
Yeah.
you that caused you to social distance long before COVID-19?
Yeah.
Yeah, stick with us, guys. We'll be right back. Ooh, we got one more.
Diamond Grocery Inc., located at Kaliakwan Diamond, are your friendly neighborhood groceries for one-stop shopping. We carry a wide range of food items such as meats, toiletries, personal care, and even products for your vehicle. And there is so much more that is certain to make the most picky shopper happy. Our bakery supplies a variety of delicious and hot breads and pastries. We provide spacious parking at our 2 locations to ensure a pleasant shopping experience. Our staff is courteous, friendly, and ready to serve you. Come to Diamond Grocery Inc., Kaliakwan Diamond, for excellent shopping with ambience designed for your satisfaction.
Of course, we are live on this here episode of the Situation Updates live chat series. And with me, JP Shimon, for this episode, man, is Kev Jones Allen. All right.
What up? What up?
The
What up?
badass singer-songwriter. We dubbed him Vincentian on our promo for this particular show. But I was properly tutored tonight. The man is actually a Trincentian. All
A
right,
trend
good.
session.
Vincentian.
Wow.
It has got a big homage. Watch me, man. Before the break, you mentioned having experienced some personal I'm saying things because we have not quite categorized them just yet to fully understand and appreciate exactly what it was that you had gone through coming out of 2016 and going forward. So I'd basically like now to carve that space out for you to get a little bit more specific, a little bit more up close and personal. Floor is
Yeah.
yours.
All right. So early 2016. Well, from late 2015, my mom actually got like ill, and she was diagnosed with cancer. So that was something that we were actually dealing with in private. And then in February, I think it was of 2016, while she was still very much sick and stuff like that, I was abducted on my way home one night, and that became like a super public thing. uh and I kind of had to pull away from the public at that point in time because everybody had like their opinions of what would have happened, and it was just a whole mess as well. Like right after that, the label and I split. And then not too long after that, my mother passed away. So it was just like kind of like consecutive things that were happening. And at the same time, I had just come off of my biggest carnival since I started and was heading into like a next carnival. And I really just wanted to disappear, but the people around me and the people I was working with were like, you can't disappear right now. You gotta actually like show up and pop out and do you. So I actually just had to kind of shove everything down that was going on and push back out and start working again. Because at that point, I also had to make sure that I could take care of myself because that support system was also gone. So I couldn't actually stop at all. And then the year after, when I thought I could stop, the music academy thing happened, and that just kind of like put me in a different zone with like a different set of credentials. So I had to like continue working again. So by like 2019, I was done. Like early 2019, I was already like, I was preparing for carnival and everything. And I went to Barbados, and I remember coming back from Barbados, and I was sitting waiting for my ride to pick me up from the airport, and I just took my phone out and I was like, "Yo, guys, I'm retiring from SoCal. I'm done. Sorry to everybody who I had projects with, who we started work with. We're gonna figure out what to do with the songs, but that's it for me. I'm done." And that was it. I just
As in, you're not writing soca anymore. You're not singing soca anymore.
like I wrote still because like I had contracts and obligations, so I was still working behind the scenes for the entire time that I was like out, but I really wasn't trying to be too heavily in the public eye at all for the time. So I was just like in the shadows for that period of time.
Right.
But
So, cancer is a hell of a thing to deal with any day of the week, and particularly for a person who is as tightly knitted as you were with your moms. One could only imagine. You know, what the impact would be like, right?
yeah,
And then you said you were abducted.
yeah, that
Um,
was
Go ahead,
that
go
was a
ahead.
that was a crazy situation. I don't even know like why me, why that point in time. I still don't understand. They did
Was it
ask.
ever resolved, like legally? Like, were the
No,
abductors apprehended? No, nothing happened. Nothing came of
still
it.
nothing. So
Okay. What I was trying to get at basically is try to map your mental hygiene at that particular time. I mean,
uh,
what was that like? How would you describe that particular phase of your mental health?
I had to be like heavily medicated to function most times after that.
We talking ganja medication or pharmaceuticals?
Like both actually.
Hmm.
So I didn't really share much about the pharmaceutical side of things with people around me. So like it's only like a few people that know exactly like what was going on outside of like me just like smoking and drinking all the time.
Hmm.
So because like you really realize who you can and cannot share things with when you end up in those situations. And I really ended up with like hardly anybody I could share with, like psychologists obviously, but not many other people. So in layman's terms, I was losing my shit.
How old
That's
were you around that time, Kev?
that was like I had to be about 23. Yeah, like 22, 23, somewhere there.
Talk to me about coping mechanisms. Yes, I'm hearing that you were self medicating in terms of alcohol and ganja. Some people might want to say abuse, but what other sort of coping mechanisms were one available to you, and two that you exploited at that particular time?
Uh Work. I just dive into things when I have anything to do with. So like I just find ways to be busy. So I doubled down. Like if I would write 2 songs a day, I started writing four, writing six, eight, spending the whole day in the studio, like put together a studio in my house so I didn't have to leave, like that kind of things. Um what else? Really mainly work. Like I started doing therapy eventually,
Here
but
in
I
Saint
was like,
Vincent.
nah, I left to do that. I needed, you know, somebody disconnected.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Why did you feel that you had to have somebody with that sort of distance?
I don't know. I just developed a lot of trust issues after, certain situations. So I decided that I would, create distance for certain especially personal things.
Hmm.
I just wanted to go somewhere and talk to somebody who, you know, could possibly could not be family or for a friend of family or just Saint Vincent is very close knit, so somebody is always somebody else's friend or relative, or
A church member, one of them sitting there.
yeah, it's always somebody knowing somebody who knows somebody who everybody needs to talk to somebody about things, you know what I'm saying? So I'd rather you go home and talk to people that may not know me or may not be.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So, around the time of you leaving to seek therapy, is that around the time that you, I want to say, permanently left Saint Vincent, um, for
No,
Trinidad? Or
I was actually in and out for a while, and then I actually stayed away this long because of COVID. Because I came at the top of 2020 to, well, I came to Carnival and I came to work on my album. And during the time that I was here working on my album, borders closed, and it's basically been pandemic since. So I
okay.
mean, like Trinidad is home in a sense as well. So it wasn't difficult for me to just kind of like fall back into being here.
Hmm. Were you married once?
Yes, I was.
Talk to me, brother.
Uh, to put it nicely, we wanted different things from life. Um, I needed to continue pursuing my goals, and it,
Which had some sort of musical bearing, no doubt.
yeah, definitely, I needed to be Mr. Worldwide. So I thought initially that, that would have been the mission as a unit, but we eventually figured out that we were definitely going in two different directions, and it was best to not do that.
How old were you when you got married?
Uh, 23 or 24.
I'm seeing a sort of pattern here in terms of the
Yeah, it
numbers
was
there.
literally around like it was around the same time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so everything
How
just
long
kind
did the marriage last?
of about 2.5 years.
Okay. Any offspring? I'm just curious here.
Yeah, we have a kid. We have a daughter.
Oh. Oh, so you're daddy Kev.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Awesome, man. How old is your baby girl, man?
She is gonna be 3 in February.
Beautiful, beautiful. Love her, cherish her, spoil her diligently, yeah? Is
Of
all I'm
course.
saying in that regard.
That's why I'm going for these
Um,
millions.
so I and this is my final question on the marriage tip. Uh matters were resolved amicably, would you say?
Uh yes and no. So
Okay, so that other question can be my last question with this particular response. Talk to me, man. Explain that a little bit.
no, I would say we're still working towards amicable.
Okay.
And
So it's a work in progress.
yes, it's a
Okay.
progressive thing at this moment.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Respect that. Long before COVID-19, man, start social distance.
Of course, and I was wearing
How have
masks since
you
the
been
beginning of
able?
2019 too.
Say it
I,
again. I'm sorry. Say it again.
I started wearing masks a year before the pandemic. And I said that they would cancel Carnival in 2013. That's all I'm gonna say. Next question.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. like I did say earlier, guys, we're gonna go forward, we're gonna come back, we're gonna twist up the timeline, we're gonna, dig into a few things, right? So COVID-19, man. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, for particularly for creatives, it has been an interestingly um diamond making kind of a time. If you understand, the extended metaphor I'm trying to create there. So
Mm-hmm.
what has it been like for you?
Well, because I stepped away prior to the pandemic,
Mhm.
like I think after encountering the pandemic, I understand why I had to step away before, in a sense. But like, so it didn't really change my life super drastically. I mean, it made me stay in one place for almost 2 years, which is unheard of because I've been on a plane every year since 1994.
Hmm.
So that's been frustrating for me because I couldn't even go to Tobago at one point. Um, so other than not being able to like travel and all that kind of stuff, I mean, obviously no bookings, nobody really releasing songs. So on the songwriting side of things as well, it's a little slow. Um, but it's been also a good time to focus on other projects like the one I'm wearing right now. You know what I'm saying? Shameless plug. Um, so yeah, I think
Shameless plug. What are you
from
telling me that
yesterday,
you actually have on a holy drip right now? That's what's going on there.
yeah, this is holy drip right now. You know what I'm saying?
Come on over.
Show y'all this upside down, right side up. All right.
So for the
Yeah.
folks who don't know, man, explain to them what's happening with that particular brand that you're showing us, man.
Well, one of the things that the pandemic afforded me was time to be able to be like creative outside of music. So I came up with an entire clothing line. I was like at my sister's house for a while. This was what I did all day. Um, so we got a hoodie right here. Holy drip on the sleeves. Hold on. Let me show you that. And it's thick. It's good. I'm gonna get all up in the camera right now. Show y'all how like
Yeah, man, do that, do that, do that.
see that quality right there. Right.
It's up in the camera to show the quality, guys.
Yeah,
Come on.
because I do everything at a specific level. I'm trying to be excellent at everything I do in life. So this was one of the things that I spent my time doing during the pandemic. Because it's always important to be able to pivot. So I've been exploring my other skills. Like I said earlier in the interview, I edited the Like Martin video. My crocodile teeth remix. I edited that video as well. Those are both shot by my boy Trizzy. Shout out to him. Um, I also explored graphic design. I worked for um, a radio station for a while doing their flyers for like concerts and stuff. So I was just exploring my other talents, my other skills, and see what else I can monetize in my life.
Interesting phrase you use in this, well, word particularly, monetize.
Hmm.
Guys, we're gonna take a quick break. I think we're past due. It's a quick break. Come right back. Remember, keep sending your comments, your questions. Sharing your love. I'm seeing some thumbs up and hearts and thing on the ends here. So I don't know if you're seeing that over there, Kev. But
Yeah,
you got some love coming in. Yeah.
word.
But
Big up
let's do.
everyone. Where can I see the comments again? They pop up and they
Oh,
disappear.
yeah, because I generally tend to manage them.
Word.
This was something from my buddy Kaya Peters there. So,
My
um, you know,
first song, Kaya, was or my first official release was called "Me Alone." The first song that I wrote when I got signed is called "Mr. Spaceship." I got that tattooed on my right hand. Um, but I do not remember my first ever song. I know that I put out like I have songs on an old Facebook profile that I'm now locked out of. So if anybody could find that and listen to those songs, you're in luck. They're probably super cringy, but those would be like my that'd be like my first public pieces of work. But on record, the first song that I ever wrote was a song called Mr. Spaceship. I'm gone, so gone. I'm Mr. Spaceship. Still flying even when they say I wouldn't make it. 'Cause we creative. I'm gone, gone. Never recorded it, but I performed it in Victoria Park.
Come on, man. Let's do this and come right back with more Kev Jones, guys. We're on that path of discovery, right?
Diamond Grocery Inc., located at Kaliako and Diamond, are your friendly neighborhood groceries for one-stop shopping. We carry a wide range of food items such as meats, toiletries, personal care, and even products for your vehicle. And there is so much more that is certain to make the most picky shopper happy. Our bakery supplies a variety of delicious and hot breads and pastries. We provide spacious parking at our 2 locations to ensure a pleasant shopping experience. Our staff is courteous, friendly, and ready to serve you. Come to Diamond Grocery Inc., Kaliako and Diamond for excellent shopping with ambience designed for your satisfaction.
Late.
All right.
Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
So then, no Kev, yeah. Them only see the shine, them never see the struggle. Them never see the fight, them never see the hustle. Them never see the weight where they double my muscle. Them never did it when my mother lay down in a coffin. Them only know my songs, them never know my story. Them never understand it when me get my glory. Them ask me, Kev, how you get so strong? Been to hell and that's where me get my fire from. Have a dream like Martin, pull a gun like Malcolm. Say we goes on target, we go for them one by one. Work hard for the profit, play with daughters and son. And for the dog them find out, say every ghetto youth is a champion. Must make it, must be. So we go hard for the wins and the iron balloon and everything. Man must get a house and the hills so my family can chill. Go hard every day, every night, them for no man a king. And the youth full of skill. Have a dream like Martin, full of gun like Malcolm. Say we go on target, we go for them one by one. Work hard for the profit, fill with daughters and son. And for the dog them find out, say every ghetto youth is a champion. Have a dream like Martin,
I have a dream.
full of gun like Malcolm. Have a dream like Martin, full of gun like Malcolm.
ting right here. Are you kidding me? My privilege and honor to be next to you. You're so talented.
Let me tell you
She
something.
gets me every time.
That's the first person I ever fangirled over in my life. I
Yeah.
promise. I never fangirl over nobody before. Like she walked on the bus that night and I went crazy. I was like, that's really sing, bro. What?
Yo, my brother. Like I said earlier, right? We give way to the audience whenever they pop a question or a comment on. So here goes Lee asking, for some examples of artists that you've been
Artists that I
writing for,
wrote
man.
for Marshall, Lucy T, Arufa Kess in 2014. Um
Yeah, which song?
it's a song by him and Daniel Vera called Arude.
Damn, I know that tune. I love
Yeah,
that tune.
that's a vibe.
I love
I
that
wrote
tune.
that. That was the
That's a
first
different
like
vibe for sure.
that was the first artist outside of Vinci that I wrote for actually. That was supposed to
Mm.
be me and her, and then we did a writers camp with Precision, and they flipped the record.
With
And
whom, sorry?
with Precision Productions, Casey Phillips,
Right,
um,
right.
and they flipped the song, and they were like, "Well, yeah, Cass would sound good on this." And I remember the night I got the demo, like it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it hit my email. I remember like sitting in the living room in the dark, just being like, "Yo, like I did that!" Like I thought it was like the craziest thing I ever did in my life. So yeah, he was the first. Um, it's like who else? It's some things coming that I can't tell you about. I like those. But yeah, the main people, Marshall, Cass. I did work with Rika and Vinci.
Hmm.
Who else? I be forgetting. I just
Hey, it's a storied career, man.
yeah,
Who
it's a
would you
lot.
like to write for? Like of
Uh,
the millions of artists that are releasing music across the globe, who would
right
you
now,
ultimately like to write for?
um, Beyonce, Rihanna, Doja Cat, Chloe.
Hmm.
Um,
Why?
I just like I like making those kinds of records, and I think that I can make bangers for these people. I want a verse from Drake. Well, I'm gonna let him do it because I just want a verse. Um, I'm working towards being able to pay for that verse if I have to. So that's definitely something I'm gonna get because I always wanted that. Who else? I want to write for Shensia. That could probably happen.
I'd love
Um,
to hear that song.
nah,
Yo, I'd love to be in that session there, boy.
I would give Shensia a monster. She like, yeah, for sure. Um, I want to write with Ed Sheeran. Like, just do a session with him and chop it up and probably make a song. Um, I want to write an English song for BTS. I don't know if you know that group.
Nah, I don't. I
That's
don't.
they're from Asia. I can't remember what part. I think it's Korea or I get all
Hmm.
them mixed up. But yeah, they're from Asia. They were number one in the world for a while. But like, I want to write them a full English song, like because they only sing songs. They do the K-pop thing.
Hmm.
So them, um, I don't know. I just write for cool people or write with cool people. Like no matter how big or small the artist is, really. So
you can't get away from the live chat series and not tell us a little bit about your experience working alongside Marshall Montana, man, the goat himself.
Yeah, that
What's
was
that been like?
it was wild for sure, because he's a person that likes adventure. So a lot of hikes, a lot of water, a lot of boats, but also a lot of work. Like he works harder than anybody I, I think he's an alien or something. Like, cause he works hard, and he's
Lisa,
always like energetic and vibesy with it too. Like super dope person, as long as you don't cross certain lines. Um, but he's generally like he likes to have fun. He likes to enjoy the process of whatever we're doing. So it was a fun time for sure. Definitely a fun time, but also a very, I would say, a very eye-opening time, because you learn a lot when you're around too. Like you can't just focus on like the glitz and glamour, the moments and stuff like that. You get to see a lot of the behind the scenes, a lot of other things, like even outside of music, that you wouldn't think that would make sense for an artist, or you wouldn't think about doing as an artist, like starting other businesses and stuff. So like I always pay attention to like the back end as well, like see what the people I look up to do outside of like just singing and performing and stuff. So I learn a lot in terms of business and how to set yourself up to be okay in the long run.
ah, so that explains some of the adaptations that happened during the earlier phases of this COVID-19 pandemic for you,
Yeah.
because like you're saying, oh, like you're saying, you took that time out to get Holy Drip up and running, for
Mm-hmm.
example. Yeah. I see my friend here, Glasgow Damien, is jumping in, and he again is asking, how has COVID affected what you do?
I mean, like again, like every other artist right now, is affected our bread for sure. No carnivals, no shows, things like that. So there's not much to do as an artist except, make music, connect with your fans online. Um, it did actually make me pay more attention to my online presence. I did a lot of like social media content and stuff like that during the time, whereas I would probably not do that much. And again, just it made me think about other things that I could do, like outside of songwriting and performing and just music stuff in general. So I take the positives from it, I really look at the losses from the period, but I gained a lot from the period in terms of exploring the other sides of myself, in a sense.
Hmm. I mean, I wanna again take my hat off to you, my brother. Um, I spent, and we were talking about this earlier, right? I'd spent maybe 2 3 weeks in Port of Spain, and I think by day three I was already homesick, because for me, all I could literally smell, taste, feel was concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird, man. I'm from a place, if I look over my shoulder, I see some mountains. You know
Green
what I
grass,
mean? If I
all
spit in front of me, I
sea.
spit in the sea. You know what I mean? It's a kind of thing. And
Oh,
I don't think I've ever really missed dirt
yeah.
until I was in Trinidad for that period of time.
What
But
I
you've been down there for like forever, man.
Yeah, I mean, I spent most of my time as a kid here, so I grew up in, what I'm saying, outside of here, being in Jamaica, doing islands as well as a child too. So like I spent a lot of time in places other than St. Vincent. What I miss about St. Vincent a lot is my views, You know what I'm saying? Like always being close to the beach. Like it's a very chill place, and I like that. But I like the balance of the hustle and bustle and being laid back. So I kind of fit in both places really well. I've literally
Tell me a
been
little bit more
floating,
about
man.
exactly where I was coming, bro. Exactly where I was coming. Yeah. And he got this floating thing going because every time I see it, I'm like, yeah, this man living the best life out there. Because I see you floating, not not on the yacht, so that sort of super fly high life kind of thing. But
Mm,
you're grounded, you're out there in I want to say rural Trinidad, man. You know,
yeah,
I remember the old truck and in the
come
dirt
on.
and
That's
in the farm setting and
that's
what's
that's a
going on
spot.
there, man?
That's a spot called Zion Organic. Let me plug them one time too. You know what I'm saying? Uh, the one of the guys from the team I met. I met him through Marshall, working with Marshall and stuff like that. His name is Soul, and he's like a cool uncle, basically. You get me? Roots Rastaman. You know what I'm saying? DJ, that kind of vibe, stuff like that. He's all about his farm and stuff. So that's somewhere I would have gone when I was living down on that side of the country. That's somewhere I would go and just kick it every now and again when the hustle and bustle gets like too much. I just like pull up to Zion Organic, and it's just a bunch of trees, good vibes, and just like really good organic energy, and just kick it there. So that's something I've been doing to get away from the whole, concrete jungle lifestyle. Like I tend to find the countryside wherever I go and just like kick it there. Because country always bring like a different vibes, even for your music and stuff like that. You find a lot more soul and sound and like good energy in the countryside. Like floating is a country record, like straight up, because
I
it's
see
all
that.
that energy from the south side.
For the people them who don't know what we're talking about, do you mind, my dearest brother, giving them a nice little taste, please?
It's a little song that goes, I roll all of my worries in a big fat spliff and light it, yeah. Summertime every day, so the sun is shining, yes. Man, I got another earth, check the image and likeness, yeah. Clean every day, big up my stylist, and I say rolling. I've been rolling off the good Lord floating. I've been floating on a cush cloud rolling. I've been rolling off the good cloud floating. This kush have me floating. Yeah, up in the whip, baby, let's ride. All right, I gotta go to YouTube for the rest.
Dude, yo, you messing with it, bro. like, like, I don't properly light up, my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, so all right. Tell them where on YouTube, man. Tell them where on YouTube. Who's
You could
managing
just
distribution, that sort of thing.
you could search for the ground up, or you can search for the song itself. Floating Kev Jones, and it'll pop up. It'll be right there for you. I'm gonna see if I could share my screen so I could like show you
Yeah,
a part of
please
the
do
video.
try.
Let's try this.
Maybe
Where's that boy? All right.
songs I could get in through there, bro.
Looks like it. Do you see it on your end? I don't know how this thing works. We just we
Not yet.
all right. Well, we could continue the convo, see if it pops up. Um, but yeah, y'all can head over to YouTube if you. Well, you gotta stay here for right now. but make sure you do it after we're done. Go over to YouTube, saying, or you're already on YouTube if you're there, hit the search bar, Floatin, Floating, regular spelling, Kev Jones, you know, search me up, enjoy yourself.
Where that
It could
one
be
come from,
summertime
man?
every single day. But with Floatin,
Mm-hmm.
that was like, we were literally in the studio. I was helping another artist actually with their song. So we did her song and we were finished with it. And they were like, "Yo, you should probably do a song on this too." And I was like, "All right, cool." So
On
they
the
played the
rhythm.
beat. Yeah, they were playing the beat on repeat, and all I could hear was the other artist song. And then the one line just came, "I roll all of my worries in a big fat spliff and light it." And they were like, "That, do something with that." So I just started building the song out from there, and I had two completely different verses when I just did it, and I went home and we listened to it, and it felt like two different songs. So I went back to the studio again, and I was like, "Yo, I really have to like dig a little bit deeper and get these verses, and like see how it goes." And then I remember coming up with like the rest of the hook and the the post hook. And then I remember just being like, roll all of my worries in a Rizla, put on some chronic Smiley and Sizzler. I was like, okay, that's tough. What else do we do? Then I was like, dance for my baby, yeah, yeah. And you know, says she pretty like picture. It's a blessing to be alive. So we live life with a big smile. It's a good vibe. Pass me the Dutch up on the right side. And I was like, yeah. This is literally how verses get written. I just flow it out. I don't like my songs get to my notepad after they've been recorded.
Ah.
So like
So you're not like us who would try and scribble it down first, da, 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 write it down, and
nah,
then come forward.
I usually tell whatever producer I'm working with, like right now, it's like I when I'm working with my boy Uzi, I just be like he'll be building the beat, and I'm like, yo, let me go mumble, and then we'll come back out with the song, and then he'll finish the beat afterwards. But it's always like just let me go in the booth, and even when I'm writing by myself, I record it.
Mhm.
I don't write it down until after the verse is completed and structured the way I think it should be, and then I put it down. Most of the times, I type my songs out after they've like when we get to the point of releasing it and they ask me like, "Yo, could you send me the lyrics, please?" Then I'm like, "Yo, I need to write this out," and that's when my songs get typed a lot of the times.
Okay. All right. Respect that. Respect that.
Yeah,
So floating is your right now single.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
that's new
for the
Kev.
folks for the folks who just joined us, like just now, you've been missing out on like Martin feature all evening long, uh, because that song's been speaking to me in some on some levels. But what's next for Kev, man?
Uh, well, I think for the last 2 years or so, I've been really just like exploring my sound, like what Kev sounds like without the influence of what's cool or what's popping right now. Like, what would I just sound like on a regular day? And I think floating is the first step towards that. I think this is the most me I've sounded in a long time.
Hmm.
So that's where we're going. We're going. When I say new Kev, I mean like brand new Kev. It's like I'm just doing what feels good and what feels correct from inside me, and that's the new movement, really. Like self-expression. Like I don't just want to tell stories about drunk nights and dancing till I can't anymore. Like I'm gonna tell all the stories now. You know, the high notes, the low notes. When I'm angry, like I'm gonna allow myself to publicly express what I put in the private folder, and I say I'm never gonna share this. Like those thoughts, it's kind of like time for that to come out. I got like more than 100 songs on my Mac right now from the last 2 years of just being fully expressive, almost on a daily basis, just every day churning out a new record, like just writing something new, writing how I feel, whatever. So that's what I'm on right now, just expressing Kev, who is Kev
So
Jones.
that music has become something of a catharsis to you
Yeah,
at this particular point.
that's what it is.
You mentioned earlier being cut from the label or leaving the label or something of that point. Were you referring to creative or was this some other
Yeah,
label that
that
you've been
was
signed to since?
nah, that was creative entertainment. Um, when we had the whole kidnapping situation and stuff like that, that kind of encouraged the split. It was an amicable split. Me and Dawson still very good. You know what I'm saying? We spoke like super recently as well. So it's not bad blood, it's not a bad vibe or anything like that. It was just like a business move, which is understandable.
Okay.
So
The reason I went back there is just I'm wondering in terms of that part of the business, where are things now? Are you signed to any particular label? Are you an independent, production house? What's going on there?
um independent with a publishing contract. So that's the move right now. Um not gonna disclose details about my publishing contract, but that's what's up right now. Currently thinking about, hopping back into having management and building a full team because now I'm ready to go after it like that again. So in the process of rebuilding that team and that structure that I had before to, gun it now. Now that I've found the sound and the people that I can make music with. Yeah. It was just getting that. I wanted to like take time to get that part down pack first, and now that I feel like I have it, then I could get back into everything else.
All right, I hear that, but I cannot ignore that you've had to take a physical health and mental health break for a while as well.
Mm-hmm.
So where are those elements of your life in this new Kev going forward?
Well, part of new Kev is learning how to control certain things and also, getting past certain things. So I wouldn't say that I'm like 100% good and I'm like all happy and shit running around again, but I'm in a better place now mentally and physically. I'm saying had to lose some weight, had to, get my body right, get my mind right, and now I feel confident enough in the headspace and the physical space that I am to move forward with business as usual, in a sense.
All right,
Took a
all
lot,
right, all
took a
right.
lot of work, a lot of, a lot of time alone, a lot of time away from everything to kind of like, you know, confronting a lot of things and stuff before I really could have gone to this point where I could, come back here, talk to you, be, all social and stuff again. So yeah, much better place right now, much more
Are you are
equipped.
you s- are you still seeing a therapist
Yes,
at this point?
yes.
And you
Important.
you figure that that's going to be part of your coping mechanisms going forward as well.
Yeah, definitely. It
All right,
helps
all
to
right.
have, somebody to offload in a sense or just be able to express and who can give you not just like a not just like a physical or like a not just a shallow kind of answer, but they could actually give you like a professional in-depth analysis of what's going on and be able to help you to like overcome that. So I would recommend therapy for anybody who's going through any kind of, mental health situation. And it's always important to check on your mental health because like I think as black people one and as Caribbean people, we kind of ignored that aspect of our lives. You know, saying like there's a lot of kids in the Caribbean that like are depressed and stuff like that, and they can't tell their parents that because they're gonna tell them go pray or you need to be studying your book like you're too young to be depressed. We talking about depression for like yeah bills we depressed for, but like it's not just like adult things that depress you, like life in general. Like some people are just depressed and they don't understand why. Like some of them is some things are chemical imbalances. You have to figure out what is the root cause of what you're feeling and what you're going through. So like I would encourage everybody to have like a mental health check, like even if you have to go do a psychoanalysis or just like take a day off of like everything and just like sit with yourself and analyze like, okay, why do I respond this way to certain things? Why do I do this? Like how can I cope with certain things better? Like you can't just sweep everything under the rug and hope it goes away. So before something blows up and it goes like crazy, you should probably just, try to keep it in check as much as possible.
Before we jump into our final break, what would you say to people who might feel like floating is encouraging folks to get more, addicted to substances? I mean, shit, roll your stress in a spliff and blaze it away, or it's pretty much the message.
Yeah,
What do you say to those people?
first of all, my intro line is very strong. It says I roll, you know? So out of the gate, I'm telling you what I do for me. All right. I understand that there are people out there that might take that and run with it like, okay, let me try this. Personally, I encourage people to be responsible and learn what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Right. So my message and my intention is never just like go use this thing loosely, like understand it before you touch it. And I hope that people are responsible with, listening and what they do with their health and their time and their energy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of men out here saying a lot of things in music, but we don't necessarily get up and run and go do it because they say it. All right. I understand that we do have a social responsibility as artists, and we need to, be mindful of what we say and what we put out there. So I would take responsibility for the things that I do say in my music, but I would also use my platform to encourage people to like educate themselves on these things. So floating for me is more of kind of getting rid of the stigma around the herb as well, because like it's not just something that lazy boys on the block use. You get me? Like that was always the thing growing up. Like, oh, you're gonna end up on the block. You're gonna end up like this one, and you're gonna do crime. And this is not necessarily the case for everybody who uses it, because now we see like it being more widely accepted in the world for medical purposes. And I would say that it has helped me in a medical sense as well. So it's not just something that has been used for a buzz or to pass time, right? So what I would say is that I would use my platform to inform people of the benefits and the hazards involved in it, and also to encourage people to be responsible with what you do with yourself and your health.
Awesome. Let me just run through these comments really quickly. Well, I just popped them up there. Rachel is saying, "Well said, Kev." I'm so sorry, I
Thank
don't
you,
know at what
Rachel.
point she said this.
I guess I was talking about floating or something,
Right.
but thank you,
Keep
Rachel,
on keep on pushing. Don't ever give up.
for sure.
Glasgow again is saying there is a stigma that if you are depressed in St. Vincent, especially in St. Vincent, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Adriana says, you want to respond to that? To that last
Yeah,
comment just now?
I agree with that. I think in Saint Vincent and in the Caribbean on a whole, they group all mental disorders together, so everything is considered crazy if it's not.
They being authorities, or are we talking society as a whole?
Society on a whole, I think so. Like, I think that's why a lot of people are afraid to speak up about what they're experiencing until it's basically too late in a lot of situations. So, like, this is something that has been going on with me even like during childhood and like in my teenage years and stuff like that, but it got amplified because of the things that I went through. And then as an adult, I had to be the one to go and seek help and figure out how to like manage that. Like, I never really had an adult around me who would have been like, maybe you should go to a counselor. Everybody was like, go see a pastor, go, you know, like other things. But like, some things need professional help. So we as a society need to be more open to those conversations. And like, we could probably prevent a lot more damage if we just like listen and try to help people get along instead of just like creating a whole stigma and brushing it off as, oh, you're crazy, or oh, you're faking it, or you're trying to get attention. Like,
or you're demon possessed.
Yeah, that too. Like,
or one of them sitting there.
Yeah, like it's always something other than what's actually going on and what needs to be addressed. So that is something that I would like to see changed in Caribbean society in general.
All right. Well, Adriana is saying our society has so far to go. This conversation is part of the start, and I, for one, I'm really happy to facilitate, guiding our thoughts towards that particular start, because I'm thinking I probably have crocodile skin. My skin had to be particularly kind of tough. You know what I mean? Were you hospitalized for mental health issues, or what's the story there?
I had a seizure. But it was as a result of one prolonged insomnia. I wasn't eating properly at the time. That stemmed from, depression and stuff like that. So it was both mental and physical. But like, mental causing physical damage in a sense. Because I'm not epileptic or anything, but it was a stress-induced seizure. So that's why I ended up in the hospital.
I identify so much with your share, bro. I mean, I wasn't eating at one point. In 2010, it took on that sort of toll. So I could really see how it blended from your mental to your physical. I hate to cut the conversation, but I have to jump out, pay the bills, and come right back. When we come back, I want to jump inside your final thoughts, bro. Yeah?
Diamond Grocery Inc., located at Kaliakwan Diamond, are your friendly neighborhood groceries for one-stop shopping. We carry a wide range of food items such as meats, toiletries, personal care, and even products for your vehicle. And there is so much more that is certain to make the most picky shopper happy. Our bakery supplies a variety of delicious and hot breads and pastries. We provide spacious parking at our 2 locations to ensure a pleasant shopping experience. Our staff is courteous, friendly, and ready to serve you. Come to Diamond Grocery Inc., Caliaco Diamond for excellent shopping with ambience designed for your satisfaction.
Of course, man, we're inside this edition of the Situation Updates live chat series with our guest for this week, Kev Jones himself, singer, songwriter of Vincentian heritage. Take that how you want, take that. Look, I promise you, brother, that we're going to jump inside your final thoughts. But before you share that, just give us a little preview of what's next for you.
Well,
yeah.
Well, what's next? More music, more vibes, more good energy. More parts of myself.
I'm reading it too. Sorry for the distraction, but I'm reading it too.
This is a long one.
Okay. I think I get the gist of it.
Yeah.
Right. So right. It's all right. So we'll come to that after you tell me about what's next and before final thoughts. All right.
Yeah, man. So again, more music, more good vibes, more content. Definitely. Thank you, Winston. Big up yourself. Yeah, just more good energy. And I got a lot of things in the pipeline that I can't really talk about right now, you know. More projects coming up. But yeah, right now I need you guys to also check out that Need You in My Life by Lucity and Marshall Montano. That's one of the projects that I wrote on. Came out earlier this year on the wedding album. So check that out. That's something I did this year that I really didn't talk too much about on my end. But that's something y'all could check out. I got some vocals on there too, you know what I'm saying? So that's a vibe. That's the direction that we headed in, you know. Songwriter
Drop the
Kev.
title again.
Need You in My Life by Lucity and Marshall Montano. It's on the wedding album. Track number 10, I think it is. So, you know, check that out. That was my first release for the year on some songwriter vibes. And, you know, Floating is out right now. It's on the ground up on YouTube. Check it out as well. Follow me on all my socials to keep up with what's happening. That's Who Is Kev Jones, WhoIskevJones. Right? So just, you know, follow me up and you'll see what's next, what's happening when, you know, all these things that I'm working on start popping up and coming out. Y'all will be the first to know on my socials, you know what I'm saying? I'll always come back here and chop it up with JP, because that's like day one, you know? We definitely got a bus of karaoke when I come back.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yo, like full disclosure, peeps, like before Kev went AWOL on me, and I'm saying on me, we were actually exploring switching up, you know, from some karaoke to some original renditions, right? We gonna look back at that too. Don't worry yourself. Need You in My Life, Richard is saying, love the Marshall link up. Of course.
Big up.
All right. So my friend Adriana was basically talking here a little bit about stigma, right? You know, basically saying if it's happening from the prime minister's end of things or whomever in society, man, they go around calling people, making fun of people and busting them up, calling them crazy or what
Yeah,
have
yeah,
you, then that in itself feeds into the stigma, the fear that people have, um, as far as seeking help is concerned. Do you have a particular word of encouragement for folks who might be under that particular kind of strain right now?
yeah. I really hope that these people could find somebody to talk to, somebody that they trust around them who could get them the help they need. Because sometimes it just takes one friend that you open up to that's gonna be able to tell you, well, this is the person you need to connect with, or even be able to connect you with whoever you need. So, as much as there is somewhat of a stigma and there's a risk of being probably called crazy or anything like that, like getting help is kind of worth the risk of dealing with some stigma or something, because if you keep it to yourself and it blows up and then you actually do something crazy, then that's a whole nother story in itself, right? So I mean, like, a lot of people don't get to the point where they explode, but just living day to day with certain like feelings, and sometimes you don't want to get out your bed, you don't want to shower, you don't want to do anything. I understand, like, being in situations like that. So like getting help is worth taking a risk of, someone calling you crazy, calling out your name. But reach out to somebody, talk to somebody. Like, it could be a friend, the person you with, like a family member if you trust them enough. Like, but try to get some help. Like, DM a psychologist, do something, but reach out to somebody. Even if you can't afford like therapy or something, there's always another avenue where you can get some help. So I'm definitely gonna look into like finding like help centers and stuff like that that we could actually share with people. That's something that I'm gonna commit myself to, so that people could actually like have people to reach out to and to talk to. Um so but yeah, just don't stay quiet and don't try to do it by yourself, because a lot of times we definitely need somebody to lean on at least. So talk to somebody, open up to somebody. Like, it's a big risk, but it could be worth it.
And we get into your final word, but let me just say this to the active listeners, and these are the people who would listen when somebody is reaching out. Your role is important. I mean, just shutting up. Well, when I say just shutting up, basically listening,
Yeah,
because sometimes that's all that is needed. So
exactly.
you would get in the conversation, yes, move the conversation along, ask what needs to be asked for clarity's sake, and so on, and but for the most part, especially if you're not trained in terms of therapy and so on, just listening, man, is sometimes all the help
Yeah,
that's
like,
needed.
sometimes just being quiet and giving somebody a hug is all they need. Like, you don't have to find anything to say if you don't know exactly what to say. Just like be there for the person, for sure.
So one last question on my WhatsApp before your final thoughts. Holy drip, do you ship to St. Vincent?
Yes, I do. I actually have a shipment going off next week, so if anybody wants to get in on that, hit the page up and we would facilitate you as soon as possible.
And this is your page on Insta we talking here.
Instagram, yes, it's Holy Drip 33. That's HOLYDRIP 33. Right, so you can follow us on Instagram and reach out to the page, DM the page. Somebody will connect with you and we'll get you your items.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So that's Holy Drip 33. Yeah, I'm singing because I'm trying to type it out, right? Should have been done before. All right, let's see here. Scroll across like that, add banner, and we roll it. Ain't that what we're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
That's what's
Final
up.
thoughts, my brother.
Final thoughts. Yo, it's like it's amazing to be back. You know what I'm saying? I'm really happy that this is the first place I came and chopped it up. So yeah, this was like my literally my first interview in probably 3, nearly 4 years. So I'm happy it's this because I've been complaining about the fact that interviews are always the same thing. Yeah, what's the name of the song? Who produced that? Like, they don't ask us anything, right? So I really appreciate having this platform to be able to share and just let people get to know me outside of the songs. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing I said in Like Martin. Them only know my songs, them never know my story, right? So like it's good to have a place where I can come and be like, yo, this is what was really going on with me over this period of time, and I didn't just disappear on y'all. Like I had to get myself together for sure. But happy to be back, happy to be, outside again in a sense. Still not fully vaxxed, but almost back outside. Um, I'm just really happy right now, and I'm glad that I could say that genuinely. So big up to everybody who's been supporting even when I've been, you know, absent, and everybody who still hits me up about small thing and voice notes and all the other music. To the people that still play them songs, like I saw comments on small thing. I think it was from like people like still listening in 2020, 2021. So just big up all the loyal supporters and people who've been here through the transformation, even still vibing with my social media posts, still supporting whatever I put up. Thank you so much. Right. Looking forward to touching Vinci again and connecting with the people again too. You know what I'm saying? My whole Billionaire Massive, the whole of Fountain Block, MZ and the whole team, King Jace, my boy Dynamite, um, you know, everybody who been rocking with me from day one, and even the people who came on in the latter half. You know what I'm saying? Just big up the whole family, the whole Barbados link, and everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Come on.
Yo, Ken, it's been a real pleasure chopping it up, as you say, with
Mm.
you on the Situation Update live chat series, right? Uh, you don't even know, man. Folks, you might not know, like, much of this conversation has not been planned. We started
Yes,
talking
yes.
a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, you know what, save it for the show. Save it for the show, because I want to rediscover the man while you discover the man. All right. And again, man, thank you so very much for coming out and sharing. Enough respect to you, Kevin, JP.
Yeah, man. Big up
Another great
yourself, man,
episode.
Glasgow. Respect.
Blessings, blessings, blessings.
Yeah,
So,
man.
guys, I want to
Big up.
invite you to please stick around on the platform. If you're on YouTube or on Facebook, take an exploration, see what I go on, see some of the other episodes we've done, see some of the other productions we've been creating over the time that we've started the Situation Updates. End of things. All right. Next week is gonna be another beautiful show. We are thinking about the money. That's all I'm gonna say about that right now, right? Uh, and we'll let you know how that turns out. For some reason, a device has decided to go off next to me. Uh, what's that name?
Make
Wait!
sure
Don't move
y'all.
it! Don't move 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 it! I wanna bring you up on main screen. Hold on. So
Yeah, make
you're
sure.
reading what right now?
This
Come
is
on, no man.
Donald Trump think like a billionaire. You gotta
Come on, no man.
have this
You see
money.
what
Get your
happens?
books.
You see what happens,
Get your
right?
books. Get on that knowledge.
You, you gotta be doing some reading. My
Come on.
apologies, guys. Something is happening here. Producer, come get this device. Yeah. So next week we should be bringing you that next episode about the money. Kev, thank you so very much. We can't leave and not do this, bruh. Till we see you again, guys. One love. Stay tuned.
Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
So then, no Kev, yeah. Them only see the shine, them never see the struggle. Them never see the fight, them never see the hustle. Them never see the weight where they double my muscle. Them never did it when my mother lay down in a coffin. Them only know my songs, them never know my story. Them never understand it when me get my glory. Them ask me, Kev, how you get so strong? Been to hell and that's where me get my fire from. Have a dream like Martin, full of gun like Malcolm. Say we goals on target, we go for them one by one. Work hard for the profit, fill with daughters and son. And for the dogs them find out, say every ghetto youth is a champion. Must make it, must be. So we go hard for the wins and the iron balloon and all the thing. Man must get a house and all the hills so my family can chill. Go hard every day, every night, them for no man a king. And the youth full of skill. Have a dream like Martin, full of gun like Malcolm. Say we goal on target, we go for them one by one. Work hard for the profit, fill with daughters and son. And for the dogs them find out, say every ghetto youth is a champion. Have a dream like Martin,
I have a dream.
full of gun like Malcolm. Have a dream like Martin, full of gun like Malcolm.